My daughter-in-law sent me the final wedding video last week. I watched it 3 times, and something felt wrong. I was barely in it. 2 seconds here, 3 seconds there, always in the background, always blurred. She'd edited me out of my own son's wedding. So I went to my closet, found the original USB drive the videographer gave me that day, and played it on my TV. At the 1 hour and 43-minute mark, during the reception, the camera panned to a dark corner near the coat room. And there was my daughter-in-law, kissing a man who wasn't my son. I'm Patricia Harrison, and I'm 61 years old. I live in Charleston, South Carolina, in the house where I raised my only son, Michael. Michael is 32 now, successful, kind-hearted, everything a mother could hope for. He works as a financial advisor, makes good money, has a beautiful home in the suburbs. 2 years ago, he met a woman named Vanessa at a charity fundraiser. 6 months later, they were engaged. A year after that, they were married. From the moment I met Vanessa, something felt off. She was beautiful, charming, said all the right things, but there was something calculated about her. The way she touched Michael's arm at exactly the right moment during conversations. The way she laughed at his jokes just a beat too long. The way she looked at me when she thought I wasn't watching, with eyes that were cold and assessing, but Michael was in love. Completely, hopelessly in love. And I wanted him to be happy, so I pushed my concerns aside. I told myself I was being an overprotective mother, seeing problems where there weren't any. The engagement period was difficult. Vanessa took over every aspect of wedding planning and made it clear my input wasn't welcome. When I suggested flowers I thought would be beautiful, she smiled sweetly and said, "That's a lovely idea for someone your age, Patricia, but we're going for something more modern." When I offered to help with the invitations, she said, "I think Michael and I can handle the important details ourselves." But the real hurt came with the wedding video situation. 3 weeks before the wedding, I was having coffee with Michael at his house when Vanessa walked in with a tablet. "I've been thinking about the wedding video," she said, not even looking at me. "I want to make sure it's perfect, so I've arranged with the videographer to send me all the raw footage afterward. I'll edit it myself into a beautiful highlight reel." "That's a lot of work," I said carefully. "Professional videographers usually handle that." "I used to work in media production," Vanessa said, finally looking at me with that cold smile. "I know what I'm doing. Besides, this way I can make sure only the best moments make it into the final cut." Something about the way she said best moments made my stomach turn, but I said nothing. The wedding itself was beautiful. It was held at an elegant estate outside Charleston on a perfect September afternoon. Michael looked so handsome in his tuxedo, and when Vanessa walked down the aisle, she was stunning in a designer gown that probably cost more than my car. I did everything a mother of the groom is supposed to do. I wore a tasteful dress that Vanessa had pre-approved. I gave a speech during the reception about how proud I was of Michael, how much I loved him, how I welcomed Vanessa to our family. I danced with my son during the mother-son dance, both of us crying happy tears. I thought, despite everything, that maybe this would be a fresh start for Vanessa and me. The videographer, a young man named Trevor who'd been recommended by a friend, was everywhere that day. I saw him filming the ceremony, the speeches, the first dance, the cake cutting. At one point, around 9:30 p.m., I noticed him in a corner of the reception hall, filming something near the coat room, but I thought nothing of it. After the wedding, Trevor told me he'd give both me and Vanessa copies of everything. "I always give the family the full footage," he said, handing me a USB drive. 5 hours of raw video. "You can make your own highlights if you want, or just keep it for memories." I thanked him, took the USB drive home, and put it in my closet. I figured I'd watch it eventually, but there was no rush. Vanessa had said she'd send me her edited version in a few weeks. Those few weeks turned into 3 months. Every time I asked Michael about the video, he'd say, "Vanessa's still working on it. She's a perfectionist." Finally, last Tuesday, a package arrived at my door. Inside was a beautiful USB drive in a velvet case with a note, "The perfect wedding video. Only the best moments. Vanessa." I put it in my computer that evening and pressed play. The video was professionally edited, I'll give her that. Beautiful music, smooth transitions, gorgeous shots of the venue and the ceremony. But as I watched, something started to bother me. I was barely in it. The ceremony showed Michael waiting at the altar, showed Vanessa walking down the aisle, showed them exchanging vows. But the shot of me in the front row, crying tears of joy, was gone. My speech during the reception was reduced to 3 seconds of me standing at the microphone before it cut away to a shot of the cake. The mother-son dance, the moment I'd been looking forward to for months, was shown for exactly 5 seconds, and you could barely see my face. It was like Vanessa had systematically erased me from my own son's wedding. I watched the video 3 times that night, each time getting angrier. This wasn't just editing for time. This was deliberate exclusion. Vanessa had spent 3 months carefully removing me from the story of Michael's wedding day. Around midnight, I remembered the USB drive Trevor had given me. The original, unedited footage. I went to my closet, dug it out, and plugged it into my computer. 5 hours of raw video appeared on my screen. I started watching, skipping through the early parts, looking for the scenes Vanessa had cut. And there they were. My full speech, where I'd talked about Michael's childhood, about his kindness, about how proud his late father would have been. The mother-son dance, where Michael and I had both cried and laughed, and he'd whispered, "I love you, Mom." Me helping him straighten his tie before the ceremony. Me hugging him after he said "I do." All of it was there in the original footage. All of it had been deliberately cut, but then, at the 1 hour and 43-minute mark, I saw something that made my blood run cold. The timestamp showed 9:35 p.m., about an hour into the reception. The camera was following some guests walking through the venue, and it panned past a dark corner near the coat room. And there, partially hidden by shadows, was Vanessa in her wedding dress, pressed against the wall, kissing a man. The man was not Michael. Michael had been on the dance floor at that exact moment. I remembered seeing him dancing with his college friends. I paused the video, my hands shaking. I zoomed in as much as the quality would allow. The man was tall, dark-haired, wearing a grey suit. Not a tuxedo like the groomsmen. A regular suit. I couldn't see his face clearly because of the angle, but I could see Vanessa's hand on the back of his neck, could see the way she was kissing him, urgently, desperately, like a woman who knew she was running out of time. The kiss lasted maybe 10 seconds before they pulled apart. The man straightened his tie and walked away quickly. Vanessa adjusted her dress, touched up her lipstick using a compact mirror, and walked back toward the reception with a smile on her face like nothing had happened. I sat there staring at my computer screen for probably 20 minutes, unable to move, unable to think. My daughter-in-law had kissed another man at her own wedding reception. And then she'd spent 3 months editing that moment out of the video, along with every significant moment featuring me, to make sure no one would ever see it. The next morning, at 8 a.m., I called Trevor, the videographer. He answered on the 3rd ring. "Trevor, this is Patricia Harrison. You filmed my son Michael's wedding 3 months ago." "Oh yes, Mrs. Harrison. How are you? Did you enjoy the video? I need to ask you something important. That night, around 9:30 p.m., you filmed something near the coat room. A woman in a wedding dress kissing a man. Do you remember that?" There was a long silence. "Yes," he finally said, his voice quiet. "I remember. Why didn't you say anything? Why didn't you tell anyone?" "Mrs. Harrison, I'm a wedding videographer. I film what I see, but I don't make judgments. It's not my place to get involved in people's personal lives. I give families the raw footage, and what they do with it is up to them. I assumed that when the bride edited the video, she'd either include that moment or exclude it, and either way, it would be her choice to deal with the consequences." "Did you see who the man was?" "Not clearly. The lighting was bad in that corner. But I did see him earlier in the evening. He wasn't part of the wedding party. I think he was a guest, but I don't know his name." I thanked him and hung up. Then I went back to the video and started from the beginning, this time looking for the man in the grey suit. And I found him. He appeared briefly during the ceremony, sitting in the back row on the bride's side. He showed up again during the cocktail hour, standing alone near the bar. And then, that kiss in the corner. After that, I couldn't find him anywhere in the footage. He must have left right after. I spent the next 2 days watching and re-watching that footage, trying to figure out who this man was and what it meant. Was it an ex-boyfriend? A current affair? A moment of cold feet and terrible judgment? But more importantly, what was I going to do about it? I thought about calling Vanessa directly, confronting her. But she'd just deny it, or make excuses, or find a way to turn it around on me. I thought about keeping it to myself, letting Michael live in ignorant happiness. But what if this man was still in Vanessa's life? What if my son was being betrayed every single day? Finally, on Thursday afternoon, I called Michael and asked him to come over. "It's important," I said. "I need to show you something." He arrived at my house at 6:30 p.m., still in his work clothes, looking concerned. "Mom, what's going on? Are you okay?" "Sit down, sweetheart. I need to show you something from your wedding." If this is about you not being in Vanessa's edit, she already explained that. She was trying to keep it short, and, "Michael, please. Just sit down and watch this." I pulled up the original footage on my laptop and skipped to the 1 hour and 43-minute mark. I pressed play and watched my son's face as he saw his wife kissing another man. The color drained from his face. What is this?" "This is the original footage from your wedding. The footage Trevor gave me. The footage Vanessa spent 3 months editing to make sure you'd never see this moment." He watched it again. And again. Each time, his expression got harder, angrier. "Who is that? Who is she kissing?" "I don't know. I was hoping you might recognize him." Michael stood up and started pacing. "This can't be real. This has to be a mistake. Maybe it's not her. Maybe it's someone else in a white dress." "Michael, it's her. Look at the dress. Look at her face when she pulls away." He looked again, and I watched him break. His shoulders sagged, his eyes filled with tears. Why would she do this? On our wedding day? In front of everyone? "I don't know, sweetheart. But I think you need to talk to her. You need to ask her who that man is and what he means to her. Did you know about this? Is that why you never seemed to like her?" "No," I said honestly. "I didn't know about this. I just had a feeling something wasn't right. But I never imagined anything like this." Michael sat back down, put his head in his hands. "She edited you out of the video because you were in the background of too many shots near that time. If she'd included more footage from that part of the evening, someone might have caught this. That's why she cut everything from 9 to 10 p.m. "I think so. And she edited you out in general because she knew if you ever got suspicious, you might watch the original footage. She was trying to hurt you, to make you feel excluded, hoping you'd never look at the raw video because you'd be too upset about her edited version." My son, even in his pain, was smart enough to see the full picture. "What are you going to do?" I asked gently. "I'm going home. And I'm going to ask my wife who she was kissing at our wedding reception." He left without hugging me, too shocked and hurt to think about anything except the confrontation ahead. I sat alone in my living room, feeling terrible for my son, but also, I'll admit, feeling vindicated. I'd known something was wrong with Vanessa. I just hadn't known what. Michael called me at 10:15 p.m. that night. "Can I come back over?" Of course. He arrived 20 minutes later, looking exhausted. She admitted it. She didn't even try to deny it once I showed her the video. Who was he? An ex-boyfriend. Brandon something. They dated for 3 years before me. She said he showed up at the wedding uninvited, told her he'd made a mistake letting her go, that he wanted her back. She said the kiss was a goodbye, a final moment of closure before she committed to me forever. Do you believe her? I don't know what to believe anymore. She swore it was just that one kiss, that she hasn't seen him since, that she loves me and wants our marriage to work. He looked at me with devastated eyes. But she lied for 3 months, Mom. She spent 3 months editing that video to hide what she'd done. If she loved me, if it really was just a goodbye kiss, why not tell me? Why hide it? What did she say about editing me out of the video? She said she was trying to make it streamlined and that you were in too many shots. But I saw through it. She was covering her tracks and punishing you at the same time because she knew you never really accepted her. What are you going to do now? I don't know. Part of me wants to leave, to end this marriage before we are in any deeper. But another part of me wants to believe her, wants to think this was just one mistake, one moment of weakness. He looked at me. What do you think I should do? I chose my words carefully. I think you need to decide if you can trust her again. Marriage is built on trust. If she lied about this, if she manipulated footage and excluded your own mother to hide her secret, what else might she lie about? What else might she hide? Michael nodded slowly. I asked her to leave. Told her I need time to think. She's staying at a hotel tonight. You can stay here if you want. No, I need to be in my own space. But thank you, Mom. And thank you for showing me the truth, even though I know it wasn't easy. After he left, I sat in my quiet house and thought about everything that had happened. I hadn't wanted to be right about Vanessa. I would have been happy to be wrong, to have my concerns be nothing more than a mother's overprotectiveness. But my instincts had been correct. And now my son was paying the price for loving the wrong person. It's been 2 weeks since that night. Michael is still deciding what to do. Vanessa has been calling me, leaving tearful voicemails begging me to convince Michael to forgive her, claiming I've always hated her and I'm using this to destroy their marriage. Maybe she's partly right. Maybe I never gave her a fair chance. But that doesn't change what she did, doesn't erase that kiss, doesn't undo 3 months of manipulation. Last Sunday, Michael came over for dinner, just the two of us like old times. While we were eating, he said, I've been thinking about the wedding video. About how she cut you out of it. Michael, that's not the important part. No, it is. Because it shows who she really is. She wasn't just hiding her mistake. She was actively trying to hurt you, to erase you from one of the most important days of my life. And I let her. I should have questioned why the video took 3 months. I should have asked why you were barely in it. I should have listened to you from the beginning. You were in love. Love makes us blind sometimes. Maybe. But I think I'm seeing clearly now. He reached across the table and took my hand. I'm filing for divorce. We haven't been married long enough to have complicated assets. No kids, thank God. I can get out now before it gets worse. Because if she did this at our wedding, what would she do 5 years from now? 10 years from now? I squeezed his hand. I'm sorry, sweetheart. I know this hurts. It does. But you know what hurts more? Knowing that the woman I married could look me in the eye every day for 3 months, knowing she'd kissed another man at our wedding, knowing she'd edited evidence of it out of our wedding video, and never say a word. That's not love. That's not even respect. You deserve better. I know. And next time, I'll listen when my mother's instincts tell her something's wrong. The divorce was finalized last month. Vanessa fought it, threatened to take him for everything, but in the end, she had no leverage. The wedding video told the whole story. She'd been unfaithful, she'd lied, she'd manipulated. No court was going to side with her. I still have both USB drives. The edited version Vanessa sent me, and the original Trevor gave me. Sometimes I think about that moment when I found the clip, when I saw my daughter-in-law kissing another man. If I hadn't kept the original footage, if I hadn't been suspicious about being edited out, Michael might still be married to a woman who didn't love him enough to be faithful even on their wedding day. The original videographer, Trevor, called me a few weeks ago. I saw your son's filing for divorce, he said. I hope the video helped him see the truth. It did. Thank you for giving us the original footage. Always do, he said. You'd be surprised how many people edit their wedding videos and cut out the moments they don't want to remember. But the truth has a way of coming out eventually. Better to face it on the wedding day than 5 years and 2 kids later. He's right. The truth always comes out. And sometimes, a mother's instincts are worth trusting. Even when everyone tells you you're being overprotective. even when your son is madly in love. Sometimes, you just know when something isn't right, and sometimes, the proof is hidden in 1 hour and 43 minutes of footage that someone hoped you'd never see.